And we're back with some more Factorio. And today I thought what we'd start with was just sorting out all of these smelting columns we've got going on here. We need, well, doing the math in the background, we need about 5 of these copper columns, which is fine, we've got them already installed. But unfortunately, we don't have enough steel. We need 6 steel columns, and we only have 3 in place. So what we're going to do is rip out some of these iron ones and replace them with steel. After ripping up quite a few of them and putting them back in, we now have one, what is it? We've got 1 steel here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steel, and then we've got 3 iron plate up here. Now this iron plate is not going to be enough to keep our factory going at the moment, but what we are going to do is pop down here to our green circuits, and we're going to install a bunch of iron plate refinement here. Of course, this will take a few things. We're going to have to refine it here, then we're also going to have to train it in. So we're going to have to get trains to bring it from one of the iron patches out there. I'm thinking 25 million over there, 16? You know what, we'll go with the 25. I just realized we need to load balance this because we're going to need 6 green circuits production facilities and it only takes 5 lines of copper, so we're going to actually have to move this entire thing down a bunch of tiles. So I've disconnected the input. We're going to rip this whole thing up, move it back about 10, 15 tiles, and then place it all back down again, because that's Factorio. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a mess, isn't it? And here comes all the replacement hardware. It's like watching a wave of buildings just flow down. Little bit of management and changing around of balancers and everything, and now we should be able to get this flowing correctly. All we gotta do is we just gotta hook up the copper ore over here first. We'll hook up the iron ore in a minute once we get around to it. So there we go, 5 lanes of copper ore. That'll all get sent down here, and then it'll get split up into 6 lanes of copper plate. We need 6 lanes because we're going to have 6 rows of this, and we need it spread out equally between all of them. And there's all of our green circuits flowing again. I just gotta plug in the iron though, so we're going to have to go out and make ourselves, we're going to have to hop into our train, go out and settle down and put down a new one of these. 25 million copper. I think it would look an awful lot better if it had a whole bunch of mines sitting on top of it though. That would be an awful lot nicer. Yeah, something like that. Now I'll have to pop back to the train to pick up some resources, but I think that should cover it. I've done a bit of a redesign of the train pickup. The train pickup now sort of has an inline train stacker or parking lot. I sort of put it out to the side so it all fits much more neatly, and as well as that it's much easier to expand if we ever need to. We probably won't, but might as well have that option there in place. Now we relabel this to green circuits iron pickup. We are going to, let's see, plug this in now. That should get all the iron ore flowing. And then we'll send our trains on our way once we give them some quick orders. And it's very straightforward again. Green circuits iron pickup. Wait until you're full. Green circuits iron, that should be called drop off, but that's fine. And empty cargo. Done. And why are you not moving? Never mind, one of them's good to go. I think this one may be jammed. I might have to move it back a tad, but it's okay. So, there we go. Iron for our green circuits is now finally flowing. Let's go back to base and watch the drop-off. Here comes the first train in. Now, we haven't actually hooked it up to the green circuits yet. We just want to make sure that everything is going to flow. It looks fairly even. Yeah, that looks good. That all flows down there. Boom. Okay. All seems to be getting spread out quite evenly, and then it should get spread out quite evenly when it gets to this end as well. Right, with all that done, it's time to maybe do a few other things as well. Well, realistically, we should start opening up more iron and copper mines for those, but we don't really need to max those out just yet. I wanted to get them done so that we could at least keep up production of speed modules and productivity modules, which we have loads of them. But, you know, we've got to keep going. With all of the iron and copper flowing into green circuit production, we can take a break on that for a while and get back to what I really wanted to do, which was expand this out. I wanted to move this over here. I couldn't do that until I'd made sure all the smelting columns were as wide as we were going to make it, and once we'd made all the smelting columns as wide as we were going to make it, that meant that the green circuits were getting starved, so we had to do the green circuits next. It's amazing the chain reaction of things. You just wanted to move this a little bit over here, and we had to go through all of that. So instead we're going to take all of this, and we're just going to deconstruct it, move it over here, and then put in a train station behind it to start dropping off our uranium. This was a little bit messy getting everything moved, but hopefully we can start shipping in our uranium and really crank up nuke production in a minute. It's been a long time coming. All we have to do now is install a bit of a train station to drop off all the uranium. Oh, and install another train station to pick up the sulfuric acid we ship out. Always the way with Factorio. We'll get around to all this stuff eventually. It just takes a while. Train station complete. Uranium is flowing from our little patch down here, so that will be spliced on here with priority, so it'll get eaten first. Yep, we definitely got yellow arrows on all of those. That's the start of it. Now we got to go put down some uranium mines. We're also going to have to get the sulfur out of them, but we'll do that in a minute. We'll just build a mine first, and then we'll worry about the sulfur in a second. Looking at the map, the closest uranium patches are probably these two over here with 10 million and 8 million respectively. There's also another 17 million over here, but that's a little bit further away. I say we complete the square, and once that's done, nice. Feels good to get that completed. That's basically our roundabout. Any of our trains can go either direction on this, so if they do get blocked one route, they can always go the other. Now let's go set up this uranium mine. Another quick smash down of a whole bunch of mines. Throw in the quick train station as well. I'm kind of liking this design and I'm just sticking with it. The hard part is just trying to arrange it so that the rails enter this way. So if you look there, you'll notice I put in a T-junction and then another T-junction just to get it at a right angle. It's just there was no real way to get it leaning into it from the right-hand side. But the problem we face here is sulfuric acid. We need to get sulfuric acid into these mines or they will not work. You know what, let's power them up anyway. Even with power, they still won't work. So I'm thinking we just do a small little one. Honestly, these things can be tiny. I'm going to use a two-headed train with only one cargo wagon full of liquids, and this should sort this out. Another popular option that people like to use is on the trains here. They convert one of these to liquid. I just don't like doing that for some reason. I don't know why. I just find it inelegant. All we're doing for this very simple train station is we're just taking a T-junction. We're narrowing it down to one rail. And remember, you got to put rail signals on either side when you do it this way. You know what? We can get rid of those ones there. We don't even need them anymore. Yeah, perfect. So this will come in here, and it will dump off its sulfuric acid into that tank, and then once this is empty, it'll pop off back to base to get more. This here will store a full tank of sulfuric acid, which is more than enough to keep these going for a very, very long time. Plenty of time for the train to load up and come back again. And that's it. That's a very simplistic way of doing it. All we got to do now is go back to base and actually build a sulfuric acid pickup station. And this is what our pickup station is going to look like. As you can see, it is tiny. And all it does is dump sulfuric acid onto a train so that it can go out the door again. That's it. Oh, the one thing we do have to do is we're going to have to copy this down to there because we're going to need nuclear fuel in both sides of that train. Only annoyance with it. Okay, let's hook this up to our main train line and then let's get this uranium pumping. Here comes our liquid train now, sulfuric acid, and we are full. Damn, those things are fast. Yeah, so it's going to rocket back over to our uranium mine over here, and let's see what happens the moment it stops. Here we are, and if we haven't done anything too dumb, those mines should start pumping. All of them. Oh, damn it, I missed those two. I'll have to go back for them. Oh, and I didn't hook up that side. Okay, there's some things that need fixing, but we can start at least these trains running. Quick setup there. Go to pickup. Oh, damn it, I need to copy you. I should have done that before you hit automatic. So we'll copy the settings on that, transpose them to here, off you go, and off you go. Okay, now I just got to go over here and fix those. Our first fresh load of uranium. Finally. It took a little time. All we got to do now is put together about 3 or 4 more of those mines. Yeah, looking around, we've got more over here and more over there. So I think we'll tap into those two really quick. And we are finally up to pace. The trains are now starting to come in regularly, and we have several more online. We've got this second uranium pickup point online, so that's another, well, a whole other patch of uranium of 8.3 million tied into the grid. And then we also went over here and tapped into this one. So that's another 17 million uranium tied into the grid as well, all feeding into this. And there's just 2 trains for each. These are actually very slow at producing resources. And as for the sulfuric acid that we're producing over here in our main base, this is actually produced quite handily. We did run into a bit of a water bottleneck, which was bound to happen, but I put in some pumps along the way and just put in some liquid tanks to make sure I could keep track of it all. We should be fine. I think we finally have nuclear weapon production up to a point we want. I mean, look, we've got 1 train here and 2 more backed up behind it. We can't actually process the uranium fast enough anymore. Nice. That does mean we're getting a little bit of excess 238, the dull stuff, but that's kind of what we want. That goes to feed our reactor, and we started... Well, okay, we hadn't depleted enough of it to get worried, but it was depleting a bit. Anyway, let's just have a quick retrace of all the fun we had to go through just to get our uranium to this point. After all of that effort, what we've ended up with is this. About 9 rockets per minute, or 9 atomic bombs per minute. Which is, yeah, just about where we want to be. I took out some of the speed modules in it so that it wouldn't, so that it actually backs up a little bit. We've got a little bit of excess shiny uranium there, or 235. But this works out pretty good. Currently we've got a stockpile of about 1,100 atomics, which is perfectly fine by me. And to actually get to this point, though, it took... to do this, we needed a bunch of sulfuric acid to run our remote mines. We needed the remote mines so we could get enough uranium. So that ended up with us putting together this oil system down here, because we needed to upgrade our oil to produce the necessary amounts of petroleum to produce all the sulfuric acid. Well, to help with it anyway. So this is our more permanent facilities that allowed us to produce the petroleum that we then turned into the sulfuric acid, which we dumped onto these trains to send out to the mines. Of course... that meant we had to move this a bit so we could fit in just train station. However, we wanted to move it in line with the rest of these, which meant we first had to upgrade all of our smelting facilities to get to know exactly where we were going to need to place it. And this is our final upgraded smelting column. We were not going to be making this any larger. This is the end version of it. So with all of that done, we were then able to move this over here, put in the mines, and get this whole thing running so we could get new production up and running. And you'll see there, we have plenty of uranium backed up into the system. It's perfect. Now, on the side, I've been... doing a little bit of work on Spidertron over here. I've equipped them with 2 portable fusion reactors, legs, night vision, a couple of shields, and a whole bunch of nukes. I may have went on a little bit of a rampage for a bit there. That was a lot of fun. This equipped with nukes is actually really good. It was a recommendation from the comments. Hop into the Spidertron, but be wearing your body armor that has all of the lasers in it. This means that when anything gets too close to us, the lasers just... well, annihilate them, and we're able to fire nukes from inside the Spidertron, and the Spidertron has a 200% bonus to firing speed, so we can just fire even more nukes faster. This is Spidertron taking care of a small biter nest. Yep, as you can see, any of the biters that get too close to us just get zapped by the lasers, and we can just, fire nukes higgly-piggly or whatever way we want. We don't really care. Stop following me. And done. And that's that whole area cleared out. I'm just gonna go on a little bit more of a rampage. Oh, look, trees. Oh, no. You can just fire them so much faster, it makes it so much quicker. Well, it turns out there's actually a bug with the nuke launcher still, or the rocket launcher. I think if you fire it while nukes are exploding at some point, you don't get the launch sound. Like, the missile sound where it makes that whoosh. Yeah, sometimes that doesn't go off when you're launching nukes too fast. I had reported the same bug 2 years ago when I encountered the same thing. So I wonder what happened. I think it might be a limitation of the actual game engine itself. That you can only have so many sounds or something, and then with the nuke going off, it causes this weird cacophony of explosions. Anyway, I'm going to go murder some more biters. I think we can cut it out there for today. We have been consuming 11 nukes a minute, so that's a little bit high. So I've tried to cut. Maybe I should cut down on that. But we're also consuming 271 uranium-235 a minute. We're pumping out 9 nukes a minute, which is just about good enough for us. And oh, that spider got trapped again. And I think next up, it's going to be start launching rockets. We probably should have got around to that ages ago, but you kind of get sidetracked when you start getting into nuke production. Now, if you'll see here, I love the way you can see all the leftover scorch marks from everywhere we've been, just wandering around with the spider, nuking everything. Yeah, definitely enjoying the Spidertron. Just the ability to shoot from inside it and the ability to fire nukes at such a rapid rate just makes it so easy to wipe out vast swaths of enemies. For the next episode, though, it's going to be straight into rockets. The reason being, we've got our entire bus loaded up. The only things that are missing are, I think, we need a copper drop-off here, and a stone and a coal drop-off. All of those are very simple to set up. And at the same time, we've got all of our smelting in place, so it's just a case of throwing on a few more mines, and we should have more than enough production to support our potential rocketry program. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.